Hello, welcome to Grabs and Deals. My name is Richard Bell, and I am the founder of Grabs and Deals. Grabs and Deals is an online discount store. Grabs and Deals has picky deals for picky people because Grabs and Deals just knows how picky you are. Are resellers about to experience an e-commerce apocalypse? Woolworth, Jamesway, Kmart, Abercrombie Fitch, and all other recent retailers, why did they all go out of business, and why are they going out of business? Is it better to build your own website as a committed reseller, and why? I'm going to answer all those questions for you. I believe resellers already are experiencing an e-commerce apocalypse. Why are they going out of business? Why are resellers quitting reselling and walking away? I believe they did not act as a visionary. They did not focus on seeing opportunities where others didn't and understanding the market needs, and I don't believe they communicated their visions effectively. You have a lot of YouTubers now, they're on here, the resellers, you can see some of them are scrambling for content and others just keep the flow going all the time. You have people on there like Becky Park on Poshmark. She has her own website and she also sells on the platforms. Poshmark, she's doing really well. Hooked on Pickin', they have their own website and they have their own brick and mortar store. They're doing very well. The Family Flips, they have their own brick and mortar store. They're doing really well, and they also sell online on the platforms. And Hustle and Slow, she's another one. Aileen Baker, she's doing really well. She's an upcoming reseller. And because they all have visionary, they stuck to a niche market and they're able to adapt to change with what's going on with the market and the trends. That's why I believe they're all succeeding. And Grabs and Deals, succeeding. Same reason. Let's talk about why did Walmart, why did Woolworth, why did Jamesway, why did Kmart go out of business, and why are retailers today going out of business? There are four factors. It's the rise of online shopping, economic pressures such as inflation and interest rates, competition and changing consumer behavior, and strategic mistakes due to overexpansion and or failure to adapt to changing consumer trends. That's where I'm seeing it. The rise of online shopping, a lot of retailers are going out of business because they're not doing as much, and the other retailers are actually promoting people to shop online because they're reducing their amount of stores and changing the way they're doing things. And us online resellers, we were getting stuff from thrift stores, and now thrift stores raised their prices. Everybody's raising their prices due to economic pressures such as inflation and interest rates. Getting harder for resellers to source merchandise. A lot of us went into liquidation when the market hit. Back in 2018, I foresaw all this coming. The AI, I knew it was coming. They were talking about it. Nobody listened. Everybody said, hey, wait, this person's reselling. If they do it, I can do it. So everybody jumped on the bandwagon. I believe a lot of people were followers, not trendsetters. And the ones that were not followers and they started out trendsetters, they're still in business today, like the ones I mentioned just a few minutes ago. Resellers is getting hard. When we got liquidation, hey, shipping was nothing. You paid the shipping price. We didn't have the issue. We could go to the thrift store. We could do retail arbitrage. We could add a whole bunch of different models people were doing. Whatever their niche was, they were doing great at it. But I think a lot of resellers also made the mistake of overexpanding and failure to adapt to changing consumer trends. They weren't looking at it. I was. Grabs and Deals was. But again, I've been in the safety and security industry for a long time, and I've also been in the retail industry a long time. And that's what had happened. That's why a lot of things are going out of business. And right now, if you look at YouTube, there's a lot of YouTubers, they're scrambling for content to put out. It's starting to get boring to watch. They didn't do the research, so it looks like they're trying to figure out what their next move's gonna be. A lot of other resellers just walked away from it because they said, I can't do it no more, because they lacked vision. They didn't have a plan. And when you start this line of work, you need to have a plan. You need to have a growth strategy, and you need to have an exit strategy. And I have never really heard any resellers talk about those issues. I have a couple times. Becky Park's talked about them. Hustle and Slow, she's talked about them. Family Flips has talked about them. Hooked on Pickin's talked about them. That's why we're all doing good. And the next question is it better to build your own website as a committed reseller, and why? I say yes. And I'm going to tell you that in a minute, but the other thing is, I've been asked too, is do I think eBay's going to go out of business? Everybody's getting mad. Well, eBay is, as a reseller, they're not liking the changes that's going on with eBay. They say it's getting harder to sell on eBay. I don't believe eBay's going to go out of business tomorrow. Eventually, sometime, everything goes out one day. They're either going to sell it one day, just like Amazon's either going to sell or file bankruptcy one day. It may not be tomorrow, it may not be 5 years from now, but they're going to do it. But what's saving eBay now is eBay's changing. eBay sees the challenges that they're facing. eBay faces challenges from competitors like Amazon, like Etsy, and Facebook Marketplace. Unlike Kmart, eBay has a global reach and shows a commitment to adapting and evolving, which is a key difference compared to Kmart's decline. To sum up what I'm talking about, to sum up the decline of many retailers is a complex issue. It's driven by the rise of online shopping. It's driven by economic pressures and the challenge of operating a physical store in a rapidly changing market. That's where all the problems are coming in. Resellers, they're having a hard time selling online now because of all the big box retailers starting to come online. It's going to be our competition. Now the question is, do I think it's better to build your own website as a committed reseller, and why? I'm going to say yes, as long as you have a plan, as long as you have a growth strategy, as long as you have an exit strategy, as long as you act as a visionary, you do the research. And when I talk about market research, I don't mean just watching YouTube videos and watch what they're doing. Actually go out there, look at the stock market, watch the business channels, go read Forbes magazine, whatever you can get your hands on. Go out there and read it and view it and do your market research. Look at the stores. Don't be afraid to look at the history of the stores, how they started, where they are now, and how they went out. That's how you're going to learn. That's how you're going to be able to be a visionary. So where do I see this industry going? I see this right now. You think eBay's tough now? It's going to get tougher, and this is why I say you should build your own website as a committed reseller, because marketplaces have already started transitioning resellers into paying rent through customer acquisition costs, the rise of subscription models, and the growing popularity of market rental places. So one day, I believe you are going to be, as a reseller, if you want to sell on eBay, if you want to sell on Mercari, Poshmark, or whatever else, and I know Poshmark's got a lot of changes too people's not liking. What you got to do, you got to foresee this future here, and you got to see what's going to happen, because what's going to happen is you're going to have an e-commerce real estate agent come on there. In other words, you're going to start paying just like a brick and mortar. As brick and mortars are going out, eBay and the rest of them, they're going to start charging you per square footage to sell on like they do online. So you're probably going to be paying rent to sell online as much as you would if you were renting a brick and mortar store. So your rent for selling online is going to be equal to what a brick and mortar is now, or they're going to have it based on how much you want to sell, how many items you want to sell. They're going to do that. And eBay already does something like, if I'm correct, it's been a while since I sold on there. You're allowed X amount of free listings. I think it's up to 100, 200, and then after that, you got to start paying. They're probably going to reduce that. You're going to pay what you would pay to rent retail space. So you may pay anywhere from $500 to $1,000 or more just to sell on eBay. And the other reason why I don't think eBay is going to go out, and I think they're going to do that, Craigslist. Look at Craigslist. It's stagnant. They never changed their website, but they're still on there. They're still doing business. Eventually, one day, they're probably going to change. When they see the marketplace change, they're probably going to change. One day, we're going to wake up and say, wow, what happened to Craigslist? Now we got to pay to sell on Craigslist? Probably going to happen. Grabs and deals. I started in 2018. I was brainstorming when everybody else was starting out as a reseller, but I was a visionary. I saw this AI coming because they were talking about it back in the early 2000s. I was thinking, they're going to do this. Wow, we're going to go into a digital world. We're going to take the real world and we're going to put it into a digital world. I saw all this. But one thing I didn't saw, unlike anybody else, was the pandemic. What's going on now with tariffs, the bad economy. We didn't foresee that. So nobody foresaw all those issues. Everybody was just happy to be a reseller. So I started Grabs and Deals. It started out as thrifting buy, and then I said, wait a second, I'm not doing thrift no more. I'm going to liquidation. So then I said, okay, you know what? I can't call it thrift and buy no more because I'm selling liquidation. So I need another name. So somehow it came out as a joke with me being a safety and security officer. I was joking about shoplifters with one of my friends, and I said, you know what? Let me call this Grabs and Deals because criminal reform was going on at the time. So I said, let me call this Grabs and Deals. So let me call it Grabs and Deals, and that way it has a transitional name. So if I pivot and I go back to thrifting, or if I combine thrifting with new, it's still a grab and it's still a deal. And by the way, tell your friends to go out there and shop on Grabs and Deals. And how about you? Take a look at Grabs and Deals. Go out there, shop, tell your friends. You go on to Grabs and Deals, tell me what you think of it. And if you have any questions for me on what we discussed today, please put them down in the comments below or email me and I will answer them for you. And don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. Until next video, I'm going to see you, but go out there, be a visionary. Don't be like some of the resellers trying to figure out what their next move is, worried about what tomorrow's going to bring. And I'm not saying all resellers, I'm just saying some. Just look at the videos, you can see that we're consistent with a certain thing, and now you can see that they're scrambling. They're doing videos like Walmart, people following people on Walmart. You know, what do I care about that as a reseller? I don't care. I think they call them floor walkers or something at Walmart. Who cares? I care about reselling. I want reseller videos. So they're trying to fill in certain things in there, and other things they're talking about just different things. They went off the topic of reselling. So if you have any questions for me, what what I've discussed today, reach out to me. Until next video, happy selling, become a visionary, focus on seeing opportunities where others don't, and focus on understanding market needs. And then maybe if you're a reseller looking for content, then you can come back and you can communicate your visions effectively to us right here on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. You'll become a great reseller. Just do the research, do the homework, not just YouTube videos. Get out there, get to the library, watch your business channels, look at the stock market, use search engines, do the research. So until next video, happy selling.